also the energy, I think I am of course purely for sustainable energy. I don't think of even the coal, or I think there are things we are doing for the next generation.
Maybe we don't go into the examples now, but just talk.
Identify several challenges first.
I think the challenges are the food, water, and energy. I think.
Education.
And education, I think I think we should, in a broad sense,
energy is missing there.
Go into it.
Wouldn't these food, energy, water be very?
They are going to be scarce. Water is going to be scarce unless we
discussing only later. Only points. Okay. Yeah. So the rebuilding after or whatever, we are having a post-conflict situation. That's another challenge. Development challenge, a sustainability challenge.
I think for Sri Lanka, if we solve the food, we don't need nanotechnologies actually. People who have money. I'm not saying we should not, but they would not be such a priority if we look for the food, water, and energy. If we are self-sufficient on that, we will have enough money to buy nanotechnology or any biotechnology rather than go from. I'm not saying we should not do. I think the money, the return, what the money you put onto those things, the return, we don't have economy of such nature to put. However, the minister said is needed. We are the scientists. I think where are the funds? He has managed only to get 5 companies who could put money into nanotechnology. With the present context of politicians, there are more lawyers in the parliament and no scientists, no technologists or anything like that. So how would you expect them to even think on that way? And they are asking for more lawyers, and there will be the same scenario will go on. So it's very difficult for us to convert, though the minister said we don't talk about politics, it's all politics actually.
Okay. Do we all agree that these are the main challenges? Food, water,
and something now, maybe, I don't know whether this is the political correct term, but nation building or whatever, after the conflict, we have to come up as a...
or whatever you say.
You see, all these conflicts come because of poverty. If there is no poverty, there
can
is
we
no
take that later? Identify, brainstorm several...
The other thing, of course, with scientists, this human resource thing, it was mentioned even by the minister, and there's this whole thing about having human resources. Sri Lanka is supposed to have a good education system, but people are not supposed to do well here, they are supposed to do well overseas. So I think we have to think about a strategy for that.
It's not just about the infrastructure development, it's about healing the wounds and...
But I don't think he's talking about war, it is rest of the country, the whole of the country. Society as a whole, right? So, basically, restoring law and order or whatever.
Definition of democracy is another thing.
Democracy. Educated policy. Policy to for the suit the country.
I wouldn't agree with the minister's statement that we have the social factor, the educational. We don't have. Our education system only breeds people who can answer examinations.
Yeah.
So they can't really do innovation.
Answer bad is
I agree with you. Yeah, true.
That's of course true, because we were recently having a discussion with somebody, and we were just talking about some university. I know some of you here are university academics, and the person said why do you need to do research for utility value or to influence policy or practice? You do it to get published.
To get promotion.
I mean the whole. It was quite appalling when you say, but academics do research to get published. That's all they do research for. What's the idea that this person was arguing?
Very true. I think we have to make a slight distinction that we defend the other side. I think if you say you are doing research just to get published, that's a separate thing. Right? I mean, I don't agree with that also.
You don't have to know your promoter.
No, yes. but the thing is,
You need that.
No. But what I'm saying is, science has a particular law of its own. I mean, so when you talk about, let's say an alternative energy like wind power or something like that, people don't think about it very seriously. It doesn't have that appeal. But if you think about something like cold fusion, then that's a different thing altogether. Then that's intellectually challenging. So it's different alternative energies. But that drive and lure of science we cannot ignore. And sometimes people like this Sussex Manifesto have a tendency, I think, to ignore that. I think we have to see how to mobilize that as well.
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Actually, it's also an intellectual challenge.
Yes, of course.
The technology
that's right.
adopted properly.
Yeah, that's right. So you have to promote wind energy as something that is intellectually challenging.
No, the intellectual challenge is not the wind energy itself, but the promotion of the wind.
Yes, whatever.
But that's actually much more challenging.
Yes.
But you have to get out of your normal field.
Yeah, perhaps.
Think about it.
Yeah. But you have to have some mathematics that is supporting it, some kind of fuzzy set theory.
Yeah, we are trying to break into that now.
And all these sort of things.
Stuff and various things, but yeah.
The gap between the rich and poor.
Yeah, I think that is
Inequality.
Inequality, I think.
Yeah, we have a serious problem. No?
Serious problem, definitely.
The
I think
Western
one of-
province
And it
has
has increased.
regional
drastically.
disparities.
Getting increased day by day, actually.
No, the last 25 years it has increased drastically.
Yeah.
Earlier it was fairly okay in
Yeah. Now it is getting worse.
But between rural community and the technology, especially.
When I said this, breakdown of social order, I mean all those. Include because that also will give rise to insurrections.
Yes.
Natural.
Yeah, frustration is building up.
Maybe when you say nation building, it could include inclusiveness of all groups.
The last one
Yeah,
I am not
I
now
understand
we
that,
have
but at the same
been
time,
doing
for example,
good as from the
ridiculous stuff, right?
I think there is no problem with any of us.
But we know problem with policies is today.
With regard to fertilizer technology or inorganized, the policy seems to be very good, but
Science something that informs the people. Even like about
it's equal, but
the
there are subsidies there.
These ideas can be used in the context of Sri Lanka to find whether we can face challenges we are facing as a country. Can it be supported, or the achieving of these challenges can be supported through new ways of thinking, this innovation, promoting innovation, not just from a very linear, very narrow sense of science and technology innovation. It is more broader sense of science and technology innovation. And if so, how? And if not, what can we do? So I think we touched upon some of the key sectors like food, water, energy, education, and even in our group we talked a little bit about the challenges we face in rebuilding, nation building, whether science and technology and innovation can help it or not. So just a little bit of just a beginning of the discussion rather than any conclusions. But what I think we need to do next is to try and write up something based on this discussion and circulate this report to you all, so that maybe if there are more ideas, so we can strengthen the report. And we will be sending it to Sussex University